Welcome or welcome back to WatchAdvisor on YouTube. It's Alexander speaking, your host, and as you already know, I made it to Geneva and I'm so excited because in the safety distance of about 2 meters, there is Jean-Marc Pontroué, the CEO of Panerai, sitting, and it's my first interview in the sessions of Going Analog, as I told you. To make everything clear, we have both a negative PCR test, we keep safety distance, and we really try to play the game that's necessary these days. But now, Jean-Marc, how is it to see a human being?
First, welcome in Geneva. It's a long time we haven't seen physically a journalist coming outside of Switzerland. So welcome, and hopefully you are the first of a long list of people who are able again to enter our country. So thank you to join us. Thank you to start your week of Watches and Wonders with Panerai. Very honored about that.
Subscribe and hit the bell to get our latest notifications. Fasten your seatbelt for something new. We offer you the chance to win a priceless experience. New subscribers with an activated notification can win a watch manufacturer trip to Switzerland. Together with our partner Fontobel, we give away 10 all-inclusive trips worth a total of 50,000 Swiss francs. More details on WatchAdvisor.com. Furthermore, register there to double your chances to win. See you soon in Switzerland.
How is it now for almost 1 year not to travel, and how is it to run a company in these days?
It's probably one of the few occasions in the 30 years I work that I was so few times at the airport. But today, I can say that we are in contact on a daily basis with all our teams in the world. The chance we have to get 150 stores where we are connected more or less all the time. The business has continued. Our factory, despite it has closed for more than 6 weeks in April last year, is now in full capacity of producing again. So the business is approaching level after level in a certain continuity like we had before.
Is it more difficult to manage a company as you do it now, or do you just adopt, and what would you say?
You know, how we develop new ideas. We are very much behind the screen every day, and we prepare already next year in terms of new initiatives. We prepare the year after. So what is fueling us a lot when you are at the positions we are is when we travel, by being in contact. So of course the screen is a way to compensate that, but nothing replaces the human touch as we were used to have before.
The collection that is presented this year was still, I think, fought in days when you had human contact.
Yeah, partially yes, partially no. And I'm going to tell you why. This is a result of the crisis we have had the last 12 months. Mm-hmm. We had that in the pipeline, and we had to delay the year of experiences for all the reasons you can imagine. We have accelerated this program, which came initially from discussions we had with Mike Horn. Mike Horn is the father or the inspirator of what we are bringing today when it comes to Ecologico, because Mike gave me 3 years ago a piece of his Pangea boat, which has turned 17 times the world. It was part of his shaft. He was telling me either I throw it away or I give it to you so that you can do something. And we use it to create 5 pieces of a submersible tourbillon. And at that time, it was 40% of the value of the product, which was recycled, based on historical materials.
But this was last year.
That was last year, yes,
yeah.
When it has been launched. But based on an idea which we had 3 years ago, because this happened 3 years ago. And at that time, we said, 40% is not enough. We have to think about when can we have a program at Panerai which is associated to close to 100% of recyclability. And this is how the project started more than a year ago. Mm-hmm. And today we are very proud to be the very first brand in the watch industry to come with a concept where everything has been thought through from the very beginning with environment-friendly initiative at the beginning of the concept. You have here, Alexander, the very first prototype of this eLAB-ID for Ecologico Lab ID. Ecologico at Panerai means, first of all the initiatives that are taken at companies level to contribute to save the oceans and globally the environment. So we are promoting public transportation, we are promoting bike transportation, we are canceling service guides associated to our watches that you can now load from your computer. We are taking a lot of initiatives like that to be able to compensate the energy we are using. So product development is only one of them. And the beauty of this year, 2021, is that it's not only a one-shot for this year, and next year we forget it. It's supposed to pave most of our developments in the future. And in the future, all our watches, our new watches, will have a certain share of recyclability. So we come with this key concept, which is a limited edition of 30 pieces. But basically, expect to get much more developments in the future, which will have a share of recyclability from 1% to close to 99%. And each time you will buy a new Panerai, you will have the mention of recyclability associated to your watch. The major challenge we have been faced have been to work with our existing suppliers and work with new ones. Work with new ones meaning identifying new partners which are already exposed to this type of methods. And today I will say that 10 suppliers have followed us in this adventure. Half are historical suppliers, half are new ones. And we see that in Switzerland, in the watch industry, it's still something which is relatively new compared to many other industries like fashion, where it's already part of the mental development in terms of product or marketing initiatives, or in the car industry, or in many other industries where it's already part of the processes since more than 10 years. So we have qualified 10 suppliers which have accompanied us to develop that. And that has been the biggest challenge. This is where we have been spending most of our time to first fail, to identify the right ones, and then qualify them to be able to build that project. And the beauty of our story is that on the 7th, when it will be revealed, we will also post the 10 suppliers which have helped us, and will make them available for each and everybody in the watch industry, including all our competitors. Under the motto, Panerai alone will not save the world. The more we are in the watch industry, the better it is to be able to get this critical size as well as the mentality as an industry for our final customers to start this new approach.
What has been used, replaced, and certified to be good for a watch? Can you give us?
Well, you have here the straps based on plastic bottles. You need 3 bottles of plastic to do these straps. The buckle, the safety lock system, the bezel, the movement, that was the most challenging one, to create from recycled elements the movements. Everything is based on recycle, so we started from an existing material.
The main material of the case here is recycled?
Yes, titanium.
Titanium?
Yes.
Okay, and it was used before in...
It was used before. So based on what's going to happen in the airline industry, not in years, in the coming days, and it has already started, we'll create a huge amount of material to be used for future planes, for future super tankers, for new cars, for medical equipment, or for watches.
So you can create a Swiss edition, a Lufthansa edition.
We can create a lot of stories with that. But the dial, the luminescence, the hands are also made with recyclability. Here you accept a couple of very tiny elements, which are especially rubber, which will have cost the environment more than if you start from scratch, which we didn't know before we started the project. The e-steel, which you will discover soon, is a project which is integrating close to 60% of recyclability, but it will be produced at 1,500 pieces. So it's just to show you that basically we start today a new approach of developing products at Panerai in 2021, but for the years to come. There is a big learning curve. We start with new suppliers. We start this new ecosystem. And we live in an industry which is more than 300 years of existence. So our story at Panerai is a race against time, to be able to create this new, what I call ecosystem, which will not embark only us, hopefully, which will be embarking all the rest of the supplier, of the brands in Switzerland to create this new dynamic. The response on the coming days, when we'll know what is the response of our dealers, final customers, media on this program, has of course a lot of magnitude in the future of this program. But I'm very dedicated to make it on all the team at Panerai, to make it a strong development, because we will need to get this determination to make it happen. And you know, Panerai has always been a brand of pioneer in many aspects. You have followed in 1997 the arrival of Panerai in the watch industry, which was already something which was a statement. And today, Panerai intend in 2021 to have again with this program a statement which opens new doors.
It's still a precious Swiss-made wristwatch.
Yes, of course.
It's not a downgrading, but you have to make change. As you said, you have to bring in the head. It's an upgrade.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Yes. Yes.
Because in the first moment, people will probably think, oh, that's a downgrade. You know, I get something that is not new anymore, that has been used wherever it was.
The new generation will probably question us in a couple of years of why we don't do it. And they will not question us of why we do it. And I think we already, because the brand is very exposed to the newcomers, the new generation in the US and in Asia. So we already see these young generation asking us, what is our contribution when it comes to saving the environment? On Panerai being so much associated to the world of oceans, and you probably have seen many articles, many movies about the risks we are today. This is contributing, but will not save the world. So it's all of us at our level that we have to change slightly the way we live to make it happen. So on this is what these big companies and these newcomers in the watch industry are going to help us to come to the next level. We're at the level 1 of this story. And it will be up to us at Panerai and other competitors who will contribute to make the watch industry based on recyclability,
because
something important in the future.
But they're really recycled precious metals. I think it's a big mind game you have to launch for people start accepting.
It's a mindset, but it will go quicker than we believe, because other industries have already paved the fact that they need to change in fashion. They need to change in the car industry, which are the big, visible ones, because we all drive cars and so on and so on. So these are the ones which are very exposed and have prepared already the mentality to change. But I think it's very important that the watch industry is now taking a lead in that area, and especially in Switzerland.
Are you interested in the Swiss watch industry? Check out Vontobel's latest Swiss watch industry outlook on vontobel.com/watches.
Run me quickly through the other novelties. You're bringing out the chronographs again. We haven't seen any chronographs at Panerai for a pretty long time. And as far as I saw, the first, with the information I got, it's the first series of chronographs without complications.
Exactly. So, well, first of all, we have our chronograph, which is very much associated to Luna Rossa. So we want to celebrate that the team has gained the Prada Cup.
I'm not with Omega, so I can say, oh, it's a shame that you didn't win. And when I will be with Omega, then I will say, oh, it's good that they won.
No, I know the New Zealanders have been stronger in the Americas Cup.
It was tough.
Well, yeah, well, it was a very exciting. You know, when you are an Italian brand like Panerai is. We had all our fans in Italy who are waking up at 4 a.m. every day to follow the races. We had done at Panerai many early breakfasts or late dinners, depending where you are, to be able to follow the races. So it has been something which has been extremely active and extremely motivating the last couple of weeks. So we have this Luna Rossa edition. which is integrating all the codes of the Luna Rossa accessories, shoes on ready-to-wear, and which is opening the door of the new chronograph era at Panerai. So it's products which are integrating all what we have been doing on our automatic segment last year, having white, blue dial in addition to black. Panerai was very black dial, which we of course have also on the chronograph, but we have also chronograph which are going to be with white and with blue dial on reopening the doors that Panerai, being a sports brand, has strong legitimacy to be much stronger in that segment.
As soon as I remember history of the brand, it's the first time that there is a pure chronograph.
Pure chronograph, yes, on at a price which is below 10,000 euro. So it's close to what we have with our automatic. Panerai is very strong on the automatic segment. Let's say the normal automatic, which is this model, the 1312, as we say in our world. And the idea is to have the pillar chronograph as strong in the future than the strengths of our automatic today. And that is one of the tools to acquire more positions in that segment.
You just have to get used that the push pieces are on the left side.
True.
And that you stop at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
That's a little bit mind change when you have to.
I got the chance to wear the Luna Rossa edition since a couple of weeks, and I can tell you get used very often. Plus, you know that most of the people buying chronograph don't really use the chronograph function.
You shouldn't say this.
I know, but it's the beauty of having a Panerai, which is having two counters on respecting all the codes of Panerai. But
at least you can cook your spaghettis with the Italian chronograph.
Yes. You know that all the names are associated now to Italian names in the future.
Yeah.
So we have to be prepared to learn Italian if you want to follow Panerai in the future.
Ok, in mia cucina il cronografo di Panerai che mi dice quando le spaghetti sono al dente. Okay.
Your Italian is much better than mine.
Oh, I have to wake up. It's still early in the morning. I have not enough coffee. We need black Italian coffee. Then also another edition of the Bronzo, but smaller.
The baby Bronzo, as some Panerai have already renamed it. It's a 42 millimeter Bronzo. It's celebrating the saga Bronzo, as we say at Panerai. You know that my predecessor, Angelo Bonatti, was the one to launch that material based on an inspiration that he got on the Panerai boat named Aileen, which has a lot of materials in bronze on this boat. We always had it on the submersible line, and we always had it on the 47 millimeter case. On many collectors, many of the people who love the brand, many Panerai were asking us, could you please develop a smaller size than the 47?
If you read the comments, we've been at the Panerai manufacturer and we made a story about the Bronzo.
Yes, last year.
And I think maybe 10% of the comments there, Alexander, when do we have a smaller version? And I said,
you know, we have followed your movie. No, that was a result of many comments we had. And we will continue to keep it at 1,000 pieces a year. So the 47 of 2 years ago, which is still active, on this one will not exceed the production of 1,000 pieces a year.
So this will be a fight.
This is already on the on the shopping list of some of our customers. And you
I
have
imagine.
already
1,000 pieces strictly.
Yes, on this one is not 1,000 because we have probably 250 on the 47, so it will be only 750 on this one, worldwide. Oh. You find them only in our Panerai stores in the world.
So the watch now in your picture, about 750 pieces worldwide?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Okay, and this is supposed to become one of the classic in our collection.
Okay.
On celebrating the 10th year, Panerai entered in the Bronzo business.
You were the first. As
far
as I know, maybe some little brand somewhere, because and now I'm very cautious saying one brand was the first, because no one in the industry, after all my years I'm there, I think no one reinvented the wheel. Mm-hmm. Things were there always. Maybe someone has been experimenting with such cases, but as in showing it, making it available in bigger quantities, I think Panerai was the first one to do.
Yeah. So we were not the first one historically.
No, for sure
not.
But
to relaunch, as you say, but to relaunch it and to make it a story. Where today many other brands also have Bronzo in their collection. Panerai were the first, again, pioneer brand status.
Just recently, Omega launched a watch with a gold bronze alloy. So they are now upgrading even. So this seems to be very popular.
Yeah, it is. It's getting this patina, which is very unique. Yeah. And I think that a lot of customers are after this type of finishing after a couple of days.
Getting individual due to the way how you sweat.
Yes, exactly. Or the climate, or the humidity, and so on and so on.
Or the stress you have.
Or the stress you have. Exactly.
I don't know. Maybe it's a stress indicator. Yeah. Very nice. Jean-Marc, it was a pleasure to have you live, analog.
Thank you. I'm happy to start my week.
And to you out there, I think follow this ecological approach Panerai has here. I very much like it. I think it's a fantastic idea to think about, to have a precious watch. It's still a precious watch because it's expensive. Mm-hmm. You need to make savings, you need to be successful, earn money, put it aside and buy, and then you buy something recycled. Mm-hmm. And we have to get that in our minds, but maybe in a couple of years you will be proud to wear parts of, I don't know, an old 380. No, it's
on your wrist.
Yeah, yes. Or I don't know, parts of aeronautics, boats, whatever it might be, or industry. And it's not a shame because the material still has its purpose, but it's a mindset. Mm-hmm. And then you have more history. You're even filling up the watches with lots of history. Mm-hmm. In theory, you could tell stories. If you have the entire list.
Yeah.
Used here, that's traceability, sustainable and traceability, and you say, oh, wow, this is my watch. Yeah. Part was aeroplane, boat, I don't know, machinery, medical. Could be fun.
For sure. I think it opens the door for many stories, and we are at the very, very, very beginning of what we're going to learn by entering this new era.
Nice word for the.
Thank you, Alexandre.
Then let's hope that COVID goes by.
Yes, I wish you a great Watches and Wonders 2021, and with many reveals. We follow you a lot because we don't know what's going to be presented by most of the brands. So having you as one of our source of information will be important.
Yes. This was an advertisement we paid and asked Jean-Marc to make for us. We will have no dinner, no lunch for the next couple of days. It's all here. Thanks, Geneva Live, as I told you, analog. He's physically sitting here, and I'm happy that I had Jean-Marc Pontroué with me. Thanks for watching, and continue to stay tuned on WatchAdvisor on YouTube. Bye-bye.
Hey, have you packed your luggage? If not, do so. Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell. You will get the chance to win your exclusive trip to Switzerland.